My name is Waffles, and I'm a political commentator. What is today? Today is Wednesday. It is Wednesday, my dudes. This is just a real quick check-in. I pushed too many buttons on YouTube, and now it is showing me videos of waffles and cats. Donald Trump gave a speech last night. Donald Trump gave a speech at a joint session of Congress. And I gotta tell ya, hearing his voice is like listening to nails on a chalkboard. I believe that Donald Trump's very poor cadence when speaking is deliberate. I heard another content creator who it sounds like was at that event, talking about how he wanted to sleep afterwards. I can say that I personally feel the same. The man takes a very long time to complete sentences. And I will say that cadence and the manner of speaking, public speaking is something you can take in college. So I do believe that this is deliberate. I think that it's being done to distract the audience from what he's actually saying because he's so fucking boring and out of his mind. I also personally feel like Donald Trump repeatedly continues to stand on stage and admit to crimes that him and others within MAGA are committing without blatantly necessarily admitting to those crimes. In other instances, though, I do think he has blatantly admitted to crimes that have been committed by him and others, to include the pre-inauguration rally. And something that has been happening, this is a reminder to content creators, especially anybody trying to cover the news right now, is that the media has been manipulating content. The pre-inauguration rally, for example, many of the platforms that were there filming have taken footage of the rally as well as the inauguration proceedings, which they recorded on live stream, which should have been available in full. They have taken that content, edited it, and cut it down to remove the kinds of things that we need to be talking about. So I want to remind anybody watching that it certainly appears that the United States is facing an internal threat. And I personally believe that the citizens of this country should have a right to have a say in their political policies and what their politicians are doing. And when the media decides to take crucial evidence and information that the American public should have access to, very important things that we need to be able to look at and have genuine dialogue as part of the political process. When the media does that, when they take that kind of content and they remove it, they delete it, they manipulate it, that's what it is. It is manipulation. It prevents the public from having honest and meaningful dialogue in order to make correct, effective, and important decisions. And those decisions can sometimes involve things like national security and personal safety. So, to be clear, I am openly admonishing the practices of several mainstream media news outlets in the United States for deliberately attempting to propagandize and skew public perception by manipulation of the media. And I don't think that's a good thing, and I think that if that practice continues, the United States has a very big price to pay. For all of us citizens, there are 340 million of us. And by skewing relevant information, by trying to manipulate the media and deleting statements that Donald Trump has made in front of the global audience so that Americans are not aware of what is actually taking place, the media is contributing to threats and dangers to the United States by choosing to do that. So then I am clearly and openly arguing that several media outlets in the United States are contributing to what certainly appears to me to be a possible national security threat. So then does that make these media outlets a national security threat? So that's something to think about. They should not be hiding the truth. If you took the time to live stream an entire event, like the inauguration, Leave that information up. I don't know, can we go after him for duty of care for something like that? I tried to listen to his speech last night. I just couldn't handle it. I came in when they were talking about the federal agencies, and I'm having issues. Again, I have had so many technical problems that I should not be having. We have a system of governance, we have a system of law, and we have those things for a reason. And this whole thing with Donald Trump lifting regulations on Russian cyber attacks has me pretty pissed off. You should not be encouraging foreign nations to attack civilians like that. These are things we should be keeping our country safe from, but we, the American people, need to take the time to have a more serious dialogue about the fact that our governmental body has gotten out of control. And I will say that I think that this has been going on for like 10 years. I think it's been about 10 years since our government has passed any effective and meaningful policy to protect the United States and its people. And I think because of that, that is why we now have a situation where individuals inside of the government have become a threat to national security at such a large scale. But it is up to us, the people, to fix that. It is our responsibility. If we can't trust our government to fix things, to do things right, to protect national security, then we, the people, need to take responsibility. According to the Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution, we have the right to hold a constitutional convention. That means that the people of the United States do have the political power to check their politicians and pass into oversight regulations over these politicians. We can collectively organize and start passing laws to hold these politicians accountable. And I'm going to say right now that the first thing that I think that we need to do is get rid of the Citizens United decision. My phone died and now I'm back. So, yeah, I think we need to do something to get rid of Citizens United. First of all, one of the things that we're seeing coming from, as a result of Citizens United, people have taken time to research what is going on with this. If this is a good policy or bad policy, what is the implications? What has it caused? Well, one of the things that it's caused is like all the way down to local elections. There's a lot of money from the outside coming into local elections. I personally feel that fair representation, first of all, needs to be a part of our electorate process. And I also argued that fair representation starts pre-election when we select our candidates. And I don't think that the candidates that we get should be the only one, should be purchased by corporations, first of all, or foreign entities. So, in 2023, the Federal Elections Commission was trying to get a bill passed to prevent foreign campaign finance, to do something about it, to regulate it, at least require that it be disclosed. So while we're at it here, another thing that I've noticed that mainstream media is not doing is that when there is a bill that is being presented, when I check regular mainstream news sources, I am not finding the name or the number of that bill. How about mainstream media should start including all of those bill numbers and naming those bills so that the American populace, the American public, can make educated decisions. That information needs to be readily available. I keep checking the news and they're like, oh yeah, some bill, but they never name the bill. So the bill that I'm talking about in regards to foreign influence is called the Disclose Act. The Disclose Act, H.R. 5175, was not passed. Other than that, I would like to openly encourage any live streams that you see of the speeches that Donald Trump is giving or Republicans in Congress, record it. So then that way, the mainstream media can't hide the truth from us. And then that way, we all have all the clips of everything that we need. And if these dum-dums want to be doing stuff they're not supposed to be doing and they want to tell everybody about it or be making misstatements, we can catch them on. Because that's how we get honest discussion going. So let's start there. But we can also hold a constitutional convention and do things like do something about these campaign finance bills that these guys keep failing to pass, because this is what I think the American people need. We need the dirty money out of our political system, because I think it's causing a lot of problems. And I think regardless of what side of the aisle that you are on, this is probably something that the majority of Americans can agree on. So how do we get this handled?